We're at the 44th National here on Collect TV, and joining us now is Michael Rubin, the CEO of Fanatics, and Mike Mahan, the CEO of Fanatics Collectibles. Welcome, guys.
Thanks. How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
And our first interview
Mic
with your
up.
new business.
Hold it up a little bit. Okay. Yeah, thank you.
I like that you're already correcting me on my mic skills.
well,
Being school, I've always been working for you my whole life.
It's true. It's true. We have to do the TV thing. First to you, this is your second or third national?
Third.
Okay, and has it developed over time? Have you seen differences?
You know, for me, it's amazing because when I come to the national, and the first time I went was Atlantic City, 3 nationals ago, and the first reaction you have is like you're just so blown away by the quantity of collectors
Totally.
and how passionate they are. Okay, and you're like, this is freaking incredible. And I think every year you have that feeling because it keeps building, so it's spectacular. The second feeling you have is, I've been going to card shows since I've been 8, 10 years old, and they haven't changed a lot, and so that's a big opportunity. And so, I as an individual, we as Fanatics have huge respect for the national and the incredible legacy and all the incredible thousands of shows that exist in the world. But I do think there's a big opportunity to innovate them and improve them and enhance them, and I'm excited for that to happen.
So to you, Mike, Fanatics Fest coming up in a couple weeks from now. What is considered success at the end of the day with Fanatics Fest?
I think there's two things. One, we want to take all the sports fans that are going to be there and introduce them to the world of collecting. So we want to showcase the world of collecting. We want to teach them about collecting. We want to get them acquainted with the world of collecting.
So you think there'll be general sports fans there who are there because of the names, because it's in New York, and then to convert them to collectibles?
No question about it. And so the introduction to the hobby, if you will, because ultimately what the hobby is the ultimate expression of sports fandom. If you're a big sports fan and you're not collecting, in our view, you're missing out on the experience. So that's number one. And then two, it's going to be a great showcase for collectors. We have over 300 dealers and tables coming. We're going to have big experiences, giveaways, exclusive product. It's going to be great.
If you think about so many other industries, they have great shows. You go think about Comic-Con, which is it's become an incredible event that happens in so many different cities across the world. Think about South by Southwest. You think about all the music festivals. You're too old to go to them. I still go to them.
Correct. I want to keep my hearing for 10 more years.
Yeah. But when I think about sports, there is no show beyond a team fan fest or a league fan fest or a collecting show. I think, why is there not a sports festival that happens once a year in every major city in the world? And so that's my dream for Fanatics Fest. Sometimes dreams happen, you make them happen, and other times you fall flat on your face. But, for me, I think what's going to be great is I think you're going to have a ton of collectors that come to Fanatics Fest. But I think you're going to have a bunch of sports fans that don't care about collecting today that come to Fanatics Fest. And that's great because we want to have something for everybody. And, guys like Mike want to take advantage of you and sports challenges that will exist there, and you'll be an easy target to pick off. And there'll be guys
I've retired from the 40.
There'll be guys like me that will be easy targets to pick off for guys like you. But there's going to be so many things to do there. So for me...
So you're suggesting there's going to be Fanatics Fests, many, everywhere?
I mean, that's the dream, and only time will tell. But I think if this goes the way that it should, if you can have... Comic-Con started, I think, in San Diego.
Yes, it did.
And, you have them all over the world. And why shouldn't we have Fanatics Fests all over the world? And to me, we're going to lose money on this. This isn't about making money. We lose money on this. We're going to lose millions of dollars doing this. But what is this chance to bring together... hundreds of the best athletes in the world. Look, there's never been a festival where Tom Brady shows up and the best WWE wrestlers in the world show up. And you've got, Cody Rhodes and Hulk Hogan and so many incredible wrestlers. And you've got, Derek Jeter being interviewed by David Ortiz. And you've got Mike Tyson and Jake Paul, who got a fight coming up, showing up. And you got, KD and Anthony Edwards. And, you just got Allen Iverson, Julius Erving, who are my Sixers greats. And just, you have so many different great athletes. But that's not the only thing to do there. So it's like there's so many different things to do, and I think that's what's going to be special about this. And by the way, it's going to look like it's 2024.
Right. Let's get to the redemptions. That's something you're really proud of?
I think it's all the work Mike did. So I'm going to hand the phone over to Mike. But what I will say to you is, before Mike joined as CEOs of Fanatics Collectibles, the first thing I learned about when we got all the rights to trading cards is I go out and ask people, hey, what are the biggest problems you have? And they always told me two things. It was the same two things. It was redemptions number one and sticker autos number two. Okay. And so I remember declaring, before Mike got to Fanatics, we got to eliminate redemptions. And we got to make redemptions go away. And to me, again, you got to just make bold goals and then, see what you can do. And I think sometimes people think I'm crazy. Maybe they're right, but you just got to come up with bold shit and see how far you can get. And, when we bought Topps, redemptions were a giant problem for Topps, and they were a giant problem for the industry. They're still giant problems for others in the industry. They're not a giant problem for Topps. We've eliminated the problem. We've taken it from a giant problem to I think a pretty great place, and it's even going to get better.
You're under 10,000 now.
Yeah. So I'm going to turn the mic over to Mike to talk about what he's done.
Okay, wait. What did it start at? 75,000 or something like that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we were over 70,000.
This business much smaller.
With a much smaller business. This right now we're under 8,000. We're continuing to work aggressively to lower that number. We have an exchange program that we launched at the National.
Really cool.
So coming out of the National, let's see where we are. But we are going to virtually eliminate redemptions within the next year or two. I mean,
and sticker autos are done?
Before you get to sticker autos, by the way, it would be like a tank.
Is this it?
Is
this a 7-hour interview?
We can go back and, we need to give you some good context.
I know,
we don't think you're charming enough. So, look, it was a real pain point. And what I can tell you is the only time you should have a redemption is like when you can't, why were the redemptions before? Because the card companies were too lazy or didn't have the relationships with the athletes to get this done. If you have the right if you have the right relationship with athletes and you really care, you can eliminate 95% of this. Now, what can happen is someone can be unavailable, someone can't be in a place you can get somebody to, someone can be in a fight with you. Shit can go wrong. But in general, we can eliminate most of this based on the relationships we have. There's no company that has better relationships with its 3,000 athletes than Fanatics. And so we've leveraged those relationships. And by the way, this guy right here, he gets redemptions solved sometimes. This guy right here, I call people when we got a problem. Mike called me last year and I was like, how's your relationship with this guy? I'm like, it's okay. It's like, he's not responding to us. I hit him up. He signed the cards the next day, 600 cards. So we do whatever we got to do to get them done, and nothing's beneath us.
I want to talk about breakers. I cannot believe the size of the breaking business. I cannot believe how many businesses there are where there are guys making or at least grossing $5 million a month breaking. It's what all the kids want, what they see on YouTube. Obviously, you guys have the Fanatics Live business. Where are you on the state of breaking? Where is it going? Where is it at now?
We are big believers in breaking. First and foremost, let me say this. We believe breakers are a big part of the ecosystem. So we have been very, I think, aggressive and public with our support of hobby shops. So it's everything from the MVP buyback program where we offer people hobby store credit to come in and bring in the MVP and Topps Chrome. We do Rip Night where we have hobby
So
shops
if you're not a breaker and you're inspired by breaking, but you have your own little thing.
Well, I think it's important to embrace the tradition of the hobby shop roots. And I think the point is it's an ecosystem overall. And we're doing a lot to support hobby shops. We're going direct. We've moved distributors out and going direct to the hobby shops. Let them keep that margin. We're trade marketing, Topps TV. We've now launched in stores where we have content to promote and explain the products. So there's a lot we're doing. And if you talk to hobby shops, they're very enthusiastic about all the things that we're bringing and the energy that we're putting in to the hobby shop effort. But then breakers, we think, is an exciting part of the business.
The most excitement seems to be.
They're entertaining. And if I'm as I am a Dodgers fan and I only want the Dodgers slot because I don't want to buy a whole box, the affordability of being able to buy in and buy the Dodgers slot with my kid, who's also a big Dodgers fan, and have 30, 40 minutes of entertainment, it's great, right? So it does allow an affordability element to it as prices of certain cards have expanded. It does allow you to choose your own team or your own player and chase that particular thing. And it adds the community aspect that's so important to what we do, the relationship that the customers have with the breaker and that interaction. That's important and that's special. And I think that's why you're seeing it grow so rapidly, is because it really is fun and exciting.
Michael, the hobby shops. People just they can't wait to say something's wrong with Fanatics, right? So they go after the hobby shop angle, like you only care about breakers, or so. How important is the general public to be able to get a box of something?
Yeah, we want trading cards to be accessible to all different types of collectors. From a collector who wants to buy the most entry level product to the collector who wants to buy the highest end product. And by the way, there are many different important distribution channels. If you think about Walmart and Target, who sell our retail entry level products, they're really important to the ecosystem because they have collectors that go in there that buy, these entry level products. It's how they get into the hobby. And then when they become older, they have, more available spend, then they can go buy different cards in a hobby shop. So for us, the hobby shop is still our most important channel. We love our hobby shops, so much so that I think when Fanatics took over all the rights for trading cards in 2021, the hobby shops were terrified. They thought, hey, is Fanatics...
Yeah, they thought it was
Right.
they thought it was over.
They thought it was over. Is Fanatics
Direct
going to put us out of
distribution,
business?
yeah.
And you know what happened? All those hobby shops who used to buy through distributors, who used to get jacked up on all the prices, now buy from us directly. And we now saw, I think when we bought Topps, they sold about 200 hobby shops directly. I think we have 800 hobby shops that we now sell directly. And all that happens when I walk around the show is hobby shops walk up to me and say, thank you for selling me directly. We make so much more money on the product that we buy from you. Thank you for giving us access to the product. Thank you for not making us go through distributors that were kind of taking advantage of us. So we have made the hobby shop, first and foremost, the most important partner to us. We've treated them great. We're now selling them directly. They're making more money. We're giving them a chance to grow their businesses. And you know what we're asking for them? To invest back in the hobby, to build better stores, to have better presentation, to help us market, to help grow this incredible hobby. So it's been a great partnership. Now, for all the people that say breakers get all these great cards, well, they're a big part of the ecosystem. And so if you sell a lot of cards, you get a lot of great cards. So one thing I've learned...
and you guys had put out that study that basically said, listen, obviously they get the volume, they're going to get more hits. They're not. Yeah.
KPMG did an audit.
Right.
And they validated that we don't know where the cards go. They're randomly distributed. We don't put cards in people's hands. But as Michael said, when breakers open more cards and they do so on camera, it's going to give the appearance that they get.
Now, what about the future of like a Breakers Delight thing where it's like there's something in Breakers boxes that are not in the public boxes?
Yeah, that's going to be a very rare exception going forward. That was a legacy thing that got carried over. That's not something that we will typically do. You may have an exclusive parallel here and there, but where you have something really desirable like the Legends autos, that should be distributed across the product, not in any one SKU.
What is the future of basketball and football? Obviously, there's going to be an unlicensed football this year. The future for you have those rights. Are you confident that in 2025, 2026, you will have those rights?
Yeah, of course. First, we do have a license today with the NBA to do player-only cards. We'll start with player-only cards, which we'll sell over the next 14 months. Actually, not 14 months because they don't come till the next few months. So we'll sell NBA PA, from our player
without
license
logos,
for about a year without team logos, and then our rights will kick in October 1st of next year, and we can't wait. And the NFL is in March of the following year, and between now and then we also have WWE coming on, the English Premier League. So we couldn't be more excited. I think we've shown what we can do with baseball. I mean, if you look, baseball was the third sports property when we bought Topps in 2000, then in 2021. It's now the first by a wide margin. I think if you talk to anybody in this show, they'll tell you the product has evolved in a pretty enormous way. There's been incredible marketing. Yesterday we launched an ad that I think had a lot of emotion for a lot of people about really just the how important collecting is to family and tradition. And so and we think we're just getting started. I just said in the last meeting we had before we rushed up to be with our guy who only had 2 microphones for the 3 of us. I said, like, we've been at this for 2.5 years. In the next 2.5 years, we're going to embarrass what we did in the last 2.5 years. We're going to do so much better. So we're just getting started. I'm going to do this for the rest of my life. I'm going to make sure I convince Mike to do this for the rest of his life. And it's like we're in the greatest industry in the world, in the greatest hobby in the world. Like this is the funnest thing I could possibly do. So why would we not want to innovate? Transform to interesting thing for our customers. Now, what do you say to some of the hate and BS that you take? You can't do transformative things without rocking the boat a little bit.
It's true.
Yes, could we have sold through, let me tell you someone who doesn't like us. Distributors, okay? Distributors that used to buy cards from all of the trading card companies and then make a giant margin selling to the hobby shops.
Being a middleman.
Yeah,
Yep.
they don't like us because we've eliminated a lot of them, okay? But if you ask the 800 hobby shops we sell directly, they love us. They thank me as I walk through these aisles, okay? So, but that's part of just being an innovator. From a product perspective, all people keep telling me here is Topps Chrome is the hottest product they've ever seen. The product is incredible. It's flying off the shelves. They can't get enough of it. And it's doing extraordinarily well. And again, we're just thinking about what's next. How do we keep innovating?
2 more questions. Where are you guys on synergy? You're always talking about, well, you're going to make a bet and then you're going to buy a collectible and then you're going to, because with all your tentacles, where are you in terms of the fan doing one transaction and then being invited to do all these others?
Yeah. Well, the first thing I'll say is the best customer for us, 100% is a collector. Because when we walk through, if you walk through these halls with me, everyone here knows about everyone's been saying, I'm coming to Fanatics Fest. Like they're educated fans. I'd say how we doing, we just launched the Fanatics app. We relaunched it a few weeks ago. It's actually got one universal login. You'll see us now marketing the Fanatics Sportsbook at fanatics.com. You'll see us marketing Fanatics Fest. The reason we're doing Fanatics Fest, honestly, because we think the sports industry needs a sports festival, and we think it's great marketing for Fanatics, because I want those 50, 75, 100,000 people that come through Fanatics Fest to say, man, I love Fanatics. Like there's so many great things I can do at Fanatics. And, I'm sure you heard Jay-Z called a few weeks ago and said, hey, I want to do a pop-up of my 40/40 club just for the 200 athletes that are coming and their guests, and just for your most important gamblers and collectors and for, his friends and my friends. And by the way, a collector could never do that before we came along. But when I see collectors, I just met somebody who has tens of millions of dollars of cards, and he's like, I can't wait to come to Fanatics because I'm dying to meet Tom Brady. But Tom Brady's excited to meet him there because he's such a big Tom Brady collector. And so we can make those dreams come true. So I'd say the answer is we're just getting started with the synergy, but it's a big opportunity for us.
Mike, I want to end with you. Where
Much better way to end than with me, by the way.
where is the state of the business right now? What are you most excited about in the future?
State of the business is very good. We're going to have another record year. We had a record year last year. We had a record year the year before. We're going to have another record year this year. I'm excited just to continue to innovate, continue to take the business to new heights, all in service of the collector. I've cared about this hobby from before I can remember, okay? And my sons care about this hobby now, and hopefully their kids will care about the hobby. I want to make this great. I want to leave an impact. I want to keep driving it forward. So whether that's product, whether that's marketing, whether that's commercial innovation, whether that's the way we produce cards, whether that's the collector experience around redemptions and sticker autos, whatever that may be, I just want to keep moving it forward. And that's what we're going to do.
Michael Rubin, CEO of Fanatics. Mike Mahan, CEO of Fanatics Collectibles. Thanks so much for joining us on Collect TV. Thanks, man.
Appreciate you having us.
Too late, I'm cutting that part.